Whatever he's seen, I guess they're going to come to the grid with an old...
As we remind you, pretty much every class this weekend. Valentinorossi looking down at into no contact with Jack Miller, ruled him out of the sprint yesterday.
Early on, such a shame.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks Simon, thanks to Lucho checking on that. More to come from the South African and KTM. Well, let's find out as the Bosch Francesco.
PR, but the conditions are completely different.
Release yesterday, he gave a pretty clear indication of what he felt.
Zeki, he goes from 13th on the grid, narrowly.
You need to manage the tire. He's not so bad in this management. I think that
He's also with Danny Aldridge. Now I've got him.
A very difficult race, but anyway, I think that Marquez...
finishing the sprint, can he retain it? Let's answer the grid and head from...
Good for the championship, and I was quite impressed with his maturity. I want to...
The race was going to be very long distance. The track...
As he looks to complete his first treble of pole. Southern, we are racing in MotoGP here in Aragon. His sprint and his Grand Prix, particularly at the start. It's been a nice... Marquez sweeps through the high-speed left-hander. He loves it.
Behind Alex Marquez is the second of the Prima. First lap of 23.
It's not only the lack of grip that Bagnaia is going to have to... Started in 8th place, and Oliveira, Fernandez is got...
behind, but Marquez leads by just the 0.3 of a second.
At the front then, Marquez already trying to streak away here. They both lean on each other, they're both off through the reverse course.
Front, and it's brought Alex Marquez right into contention.
Obliged to make that aggressive move on the inside of Acosta at the reverse corkscrew. Martin then using some of that 2 seconds is the advantage. There is no
reverse corkscrew. That's kind of salvaged a little bit of the situation after had to check up not to run into the back of the pair of them.
It was a hard reverse corkscrew. It's here, turn 10. Turn quickly. Martin has gapped Pedro Acosta.
Marquez, Morbidelli, Bagnaia and Brad Binder are all climbing.
Shy of 340 kilometres an hour on board. Down to the first corner. The Italian though goes in a little bit hot on the front rear tyre, quick enough.
Acosta did a 1:49.9 there because of course he needs to be careful. He doesn't want to throw it down the road or get involved.
Lights went out here in Aragon. Straight away you felt like Bagnaia was in damage limitation. Play then of the race start. Just look at the wheel spin.
Back of the pictures, that was clearly for Luca Marini's issue right at the back of
Pecco Bagnaia. Circumstances and the elements over to where Martin had that heavy crash on the run into 5 at the end of the start of those Spaniard. You do already feel now with 18.5 laps remaining.
Laps so far, Martin is losing further ground. Bagnaia, if anything, is behind Alex Marquez. That hasn't really grown since the start of the lap.
Grand Prix at the moment, he could be 13 points clear. 8.5 is now the benchmark time in this Grand Prix on
48 as he tries to stretch his advantage over that group behind him of Morbidelli, Bagnaia and Binder.
For Fabio Quartararo, he was down at turn 6, at turn 5 at that heroics, because at the moment he's finding himself down in 968 metres that long back straight as well.
I think we're going to have to send a search on this lap into 13th place, which is the leading Aprilia in this.
So there is this battle involving Enea Bastianini, so does Marco Bezzecchi as well. Quick check on Bez's teammate Takagami on the LCR Honda, who's on course for a season best 12th.
For another top 10 as Bastianini gets finding out just how difficult.
He's doing low 152s, Maverick Vinales. You would Costa now 1.3 seconds clear of the rookie. Simon Danton
giving you the feedback, you can't trust it. Then it's hard to accelerate as some riders figure out how to use this lack of, a few metre wide line of reasonable grip.
Look how close the KTM rider is now to Bagnaia's rear tyre. Bagnaia braking zone for turn 16. Binder though just cannot.
Nearly touched the rear tyre, Frankie Morbidelli, who's now turning into a little bit of
Morbidelli goes in hot into 5 on the dirty part of the circuit as well. Up into 5th place. Martin's last lap at 1:48, looking down into a bit of time management mode right now, just to make sure that
he just took 0.3 of a second out of Jorge Martin. You said he was Jorge Martin threatens to try and close the gap. Mark just ups his pace of us
straight away in the high 1:48s and on lap 9. The last few riders able to stay in the 48s, and once Fabio Di Gianantonio in 9th.
Clear where the damage was done to an air, no doubt trying to recover and clean up his tyres a little bit after that mistake. Alex Marquez, so the progress might be hard for
Aoki brothers. Well, the Marquez boys are at it again, aren't they, here in Aragon? First, the best lap of this Grand Prix. You get the Spanish rider.
Catty, once he was given some empty tarmac, he immediately dropped into the one. In track conditions such as this, it can quite easily sort of
Bagnaia behind him. Now then, this is game on for fourth place. 50 seconds he was behind at the end. Going for this, trying to show his front wheel to Acosta. Looks like Acosta might be hitting some front tyre problems here.
We've seen that series of errors for Acosta. It's kind of let Alex Marquez...
Pretty impressive damage limitation exercise being conducted right now by the pretty decent salvage job. This would be potentially the first time we've seen Pedro Acosta, who's he's got now in his eye line through.
Over the next 4 or 5 laps is that battle for third place. We're not on a podium yet.
Yeah, which would be, really is digging deep to try and limit the damage in the championship terms. They saw Bagnaia drop back to 7th, but he is catching his here in Aragon, and cruise control you feel for Marquez at the front.
Teammate Marco Bezzecchi, so plenty of battle still to at the start of the race when he had that horrible spin on the line.
Just track the field, or the top runner's own line before we go back down just for the race, 148.931. He's certainly a close eye on Maverick Vinales. What's been going on down in the factory pretty garage?
Difficult to enter the corner, meaning put the bike in the turn. My guess is this low grip and having to run the hard and medium today.
Feeling zero confidence. You can understand why he's parked it in that kind of, once again, is just racking up the big points finishes.
Freaked off into the distance by 1 second, and he's quickly...
You'd be pulling your hair out, won't you, sometime, just because he's such a find out. This will be interesting to track the gap between high 148s. He comes out of turn 7. He will see on his down into turn 12. It was Bagnaia versus on Alex Marquez. Well, he's so close now. He might be in 5th spot. Not the podium challenge that he now into 7. This is where he lost that 2022 Aragon Grand.
Tyres drop. It's one thing to have a rear tyre drop in performance. White worn on the left-hand side, graining, and this is the
close eye on the lap time to see if there is some kind of big deviation. They go now through turns 4 and 5. Back down, got to fight for Azzy. He'll just sweep around the outside, down the hill, running hot into turn 12.
This goes wide, so he's on the inside. He's not really got anywhere to go there. Bagnaia thinks...
You made a talking point, not just here in Aragon, but in the outcome of this.
Terribly behind him. Alex Marquez was still there, just about trying to. It's currently Pedro Acosta, 1.3 seconds of clear.
Fans and for the world champion. At that point, he knows he's out of
weekend in Qatar. That looks like a little bit too far of a bridge for him.
Back in 2021. And Marc Marquez is about to 6, and none will feel quite as good as this position. He joined Ducati to enjoy